Hi guys, this is Obi with Exchange Properties. Another episode of inspection. How to do a lot of look forward to inspection when you do an inspection. My friend Chris here is gonna explain how to inspect a water heater when you're actually inspecting the water heater. So I'm gonna let him take over. If you have any questions or concerns, just go ahead and like and comment. Shoot a question to Chris. I'm gonna flip it over so he can actually go ahead and explain it. All right, Chris.
Hey, thanks, Obi. Yeah, like I said, I'm Chris with Every Angle Inspectors, and I just want to go over some things that I look for whenever I'm inspecting a water heater. It's probably beneficial to know if you're looking at buying houses, investing in houses, or even selling a house. So basically with this particular property, the reason we decided to do this video is because this water heater actually had some kind of problem. It was an older water heater and it just flooded the whole place. It caused $9,000 worth of damage. So I can imagine this is probably all new carpet right here. And whenever you have a water leak that's substantial, it's going to get into that drywall and it's going to soak up to it. So it's actually a lot of repairing and a lot of money because you have to cut out that drywall and then replace it and repaint it and do everything. And it's a big mess. So you want to make sure that as far as that not happening, or if it does happen, minimize the damage. So the things that we look for, the first thing is anytime that if a water heater were to have a complication where water would be coming out of it, and it would be able to damage something, any type of wood, or especially if it's in the attic, you want one of these pans right here. And the pan is going to have a secondary drain right here that's going to come out and it's going to go outside. And then it's also going to have the other, this is standard too, this is called temperature pressure relief valve. So if your temperature ever gets too hot, or if it gets too much pressure in there, then this valve is going to open up. It's going to shoot all that water outside. So you want to make sure that it's got all those details. So you can get away with not having this pipe that goes outside if you
Let me show him the pipe from closer,
Okay.
a little perspective. So this is the pipe that he's pointing at right here. If you can see it, it's going outside. So if you don't have that, go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, if you don't have that and you're in a situation where it's hard to get a line outside, they do have other devices that I also recommend no matter what if you've got it upstairs, because it's a big deal upstairs. There's a little device that you can put down here in this pan, so whenever that pan gets a little bit of water in it, it sends a signal up to the top, and there's a valve attached to the water that goes in this water tank here, so it shuts it off immediately once it senses that water. But not all systems have that, so just make sure you've got either the drain going outside or that pipe. The other thing you want to look for in general is just the good condition of the water heater. Usually it's got a manufacturer date on here. The newer the better. Depends on the manufacturer, but you could be looking at around 10 years, and they're kind of expensive to replace. Not as expensive as AC, but it's still expensive. You also want to make sure anytime you open this door that you don't smell gas. That's obvious, but most water heaters, if they're not electric, if they're electric, they've got these electrical panel here and electrical panel down here, and there's no gas line to it. But if there is a gas line, just kind of they put a chemical in the gas that lets you be able to smell it. Otherwise, it would be odors. But as far as maintenance, if you're a new homeowner, or some homeowners right now don't know that you're supposed to drain it. It's like giving it an oil change for a car. So all water heaters are going to have this towards the bottom right here. So you're going to want to hook up a hose to it, and then you're going to, once a year.
Can you show him one more time? I think I was.
Yeah. So once a year, this is a valve where the water can come out. So you want to hook up a hose, run that outside into like a clear white bucket so you can see what kind of debris is coming out of it. Open the valve and it'll automatically start flushing water through. So then you're going to flush it until the water inside the bucket comes out clean. It'll stop coming out with little pieces of debris. You can turn it off, no problem, once a year.
So that's the maintenance they need to do every year. Just make sure that.
Yeah, just general maintenance. You're going to get at least 3 more years out of the life of your water heater.
Yeah.
So what that does is you've got something in the center of this tank called a sacrificial node. And that sacrificial node is built in there so that water will attack it first before it starts attacking the outsides. And so you'll have the debris that falls off that sacrificial node that you want to flush out.
Well, that's a good advice. I didn't know.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just telling you that just the importance of like having realtor. I want to make another note. So whenever you're actually purchasing a home, you got to make sure that your realtor has time to come out at your inspection, and making sure a lot of times you're not going to get that. You're going to have the inspector out there. But you know, if you're spending money, you gotta make sure you have your realtor out here, making sure that everything goes okay as far as the inspection goes. So you're on doing the right thing by your buyers. So go on, Chris. I just want to make a little.
Yeah, just one more quick note, a little safety issue that might show up on a lot of reports. If we go outside here, we can actually see where these pipes are coming out. So this one right here will be the drain pan line, which is okay where it is, and it's not technically supposed to be this white PVC pipe because this will degrade. It's supposed to be something called the CVPC, which is more sun resistant. But the bigger factor is that this right here is where if that TPR valve opens up and you've got this really hot pressured water coming out, it's going to come down quick right here and it's going to splash. So this is only supposed to be 6 inches from the ground. If it's higher, it's going to get called out, just so you know. It's going to be in your report. You can add a piping to it to make it come down here. In this type of situation, you're in a garden, it's not that big of a deal, but lots of times they're like right next to garages and stuff like that, and if you've got kids playing, it's a rarity, but it will be on your inspection if that valve is higher than 6 inches from the ground. So.
Okay, tell Chris, tell everybody how they can connect with you. I think we can come over here a little bit. I think it's a little bit darker here. How can people connect with you, man? Just let them know your info so they can connect with you.
You can call me anytime. My number's on my website, everyangleinspectors.com. I service all the DFW area, and I always pick up my phone. I'm getting a phone call right now. So.
Okay. Well, let me take over here. So, like again, I want to bring up very important note. You gotta make sure that you have a reliable inspector that will come out at your inspection on time, and he needs to have a knowledge of everything. So, and make sure that your realtor is coming out with him, because you're paying a lot of money to the realtor to make sure all of your money that you're paying him, and he's actually making sure that every part of the transaction he's on point with that. But this concludes the episode of another episode of Inspection Report, and my name is Obi. I'm with Exchange Properties with Robert, the real estate company. You can reach out to me via Facebook, or you can comment and just inbox me or share this video if you like it. Thank you.